Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Hello Crypto episode 7, presented by 60s Trading. Match the markets with precision, learn, execute, and profit. I'm 60, and joining us again today is Jay from Alpha Angle. Embrace the crypto culture for all your crypto apparel needs at thealphaangle.com. So let's go ahead and get over here into the market update. So when we're looking at Bitcoin, what we've seen is Bitcoin pulled down on the daily amongst all the other time frames down into this order block that we had called out right here, which was sitting at that $92,516 all the way down to that $90,135,000. But we didn't break it yet. So what we're still looking at is this was a clean pullback below the red line, giving us another setup for a push back up on the daily. Now, if we was to break through this order block, this is where we're going to see, the market pull down even further, which would be to this lower order block of the $88,917. It still has not been mitigated just yet. So if we do break this, we're looking at that pulling to $88,917. And then, of course, the bottom of that is at $87,552. Now, what I'm looking at, though, is this would be a clean, spot right here for us to try to hold sideways for the rest of the day. Maybe pull back up a little bit, pull back down. So a little sideways, and then, start the new candle out and start pushing back to the upside. I'm not really seeing anything else on the bottom side that's been created or nothing on here, but we did create a upper order block that is sitting up at the $95,023, all the way up to the $95,640. I did call this out last night in the Discord with the members, giving out that market update for that. Let me go ahead and real quickly and mark this. You want to take and talk about the order books for Bitcoin?
Oh, no, I haven't done any order books or any TA on Bitcoin. I've just been actually listening to you when it comes to that. I've got XRP, HBAR, DAG. Let me look at it though. Give me a second.
Okay, I've got that one marked out there. Just got to put the price there on the actual setup so we can be able to see that on a glance.
5, 2.
Let's see, it was 95,640 on the upside, and on the downside, we had it at 95.23. All right, so got that marked up in there. And while you're doing that, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look over here at Ethereum real quick. And as we can see on Ethereum, it's pulled down and done the exact same thing, hitting that order block that we had called out here, which was at 31. Let's see, corrections. I bumped over there for a second. $3,171 down to that $3,067. We haven't broke down below it. We do have the Ethereum daily pink line down below, so there is a good possibility we may wind up seeing Ethereum at least drop, which gives us the possibility that we may see Bitcoin pull down, but we're going to have to watch this closely, see if it plays out on dropping below that order block if it holds, pushes up, and then go from there on that one. Because if we do break below the current order block that we've just got called out here, sitting at that $3,067, next up would be the daily pink line at $3,024, and that lower order block just below it at $3,088 down to that $2,971. So we still have that to play with here on Ethereum if we was to break. And if we was to break that, that would just be because Bitcoin pulled it down just a little bit more. So, you got anything on Bitcoin, or you want me to keep going?
Yeah, no, from what it's looking like, it's really balanced. There's a slight buyer lean, but no real aggressive selling pressure. Um, Higher lows, momentum is green. It's not really screaming bullish, but it's not really bearish either. This is really a consolidation pattern we're seeing. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to report on this. It's really balanced. It looks like we have like what 90. Oh, I'm sorry, a 40 to 50. Percentage split there. It's like actually it's closer. It's looking like, what is that? It's 50 to 49. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what it is. So not a lot to report on Bitcoin, buddy. I can give you the run also here on XRP order book. And it is leaning, right and more bullish. We've got, what I guess they would refer to as a strong bid defense at the order block levels. Looks like about 210 is a dominant spot or price here. If we get the trigger, that'd be good. Yeah, so kind of like we were mentioning earlier, capitulation. Expect a lot of or not a lot of volume today.
Yeah, so you're looking at, we're kind of in a sideways momentum for right
Oh
now.
yeah. If anything, I think it'll be slightly bullish, but not by much. It'll really just bounce back and forth sideways. And if you're going to sit in front of your charts, you can do some scalping or something like that. But I don't see a real big, trade with XRP. I don't think that we're going to get the monster moves like we did the last couple of days.
Yeah, it looks like according to the news chart and stuff, the next kind of news that we have coming in would be on Wednesday the 28th. Looks like we'll be having the FOMC meeting will be coming in about 2 p.m. on that day. So that'd be our next, kind of jump area that we might see, or might even be a pullback. But for right now, it looks like we're going to go sideways today, kind of staying between where we came down to our lower order block. Which anybody that's watching this, if you notice that, when we broke through that upper order block that we had, that we called out, that if it hit $1.98, it breaks us, it knocks us out, take a small loss, re-enter, and then we'd be re-entering around that $1.88 with stop loss down to $1.82, $1.81. Well, I mean, that order block, we tapped it beautifully, pulled all the way back up, hitting $2. So I mean, if you did get in on that $1.88, like I said, if we broke the $1.98 to get in at the $1.88, and it came back up to $2, you didn't take a profit. You should have. Right now, you would still be up in the profit, so take a profit. Let the rest ride. But that was pulled down because of Bitcoin. This was on the weekend. I wasn't paying attention to charts and all that stuff. But just like I had said, if it breaks it, we're going to re-enter down here. And now if we look at Bitcoin, when it pulled all the way down into its order block here, that is what pulled us into the XRP, the bigger order block. And that's where we have to continue to remember, we have to watch Bitcoin. We may not like Bitcoin, but we got to watch it, because when it takes a smaller, for it, it's a smaller move. It's a bigger move for XRP. But looking at it, I'm going to say that we're going to stay between the $1.88 and then this this $2 area for most of the day and stuff, kind of what we've done for the daily candle, and then should be by this evening when we start our new daily candle, we can be able to see it possibly start to push back up. But we'll have to take and do another update for that one and be able to see then how it's played out. But just looking at it, all I can see is that the green has crossed back across our red, currently crossing the pink line itself, but it's just creating another slingshot momentum for the upside. And honestly, it kind of makes the visual down here look even better because it was like we were going to hit and top out too quick and be getting our sell point again on XRP, but it's pulled us back some. We're ready for another push to the upside. I don't know if we're going to wind up getting that before this meeting on the 28th or what. We just got to take it day by day, but we'll keep that updated. We actually still have plenty of time here. We're going to take, and what do you want to look at next?
Let's look at HBAR.
All right, let's head on over to HBAR. So with HBAR, with that Bitcoin drop, it actually pushed us down, breaking the order block that we had there and pulled back up. It does look like it's on the bottom side of our uptrend thing here. So if it breaks out to the downside again, which looking at the daily, it yes, we may have broke all the way down, but it came back up and it still closed above on the daily our actual trend line we had to the upside here. Currently, we are below the trend line, but we'll see if it closes out at the trend line and pushes back up to the daily, or if we wind up seeing a downside on that one. But as it sits, we don't really have any order blocks there available. I think we're at about the bottom areas that we're gonna go, because I mean that was pretty much right there. Looking at that drop, that came down and matched up to our December the 19th bottom there on the daily, giving us a double bottom. What do you got over there?
Hang on, buddy.
All right. Yeah, double bottom. We do have the upper order block that we did create on the daily. That's at the 11 cent 76 up to the 12 cent 07.
Yeah, I did change over to your charts, I believe. Well, maybe not that actually. Maybe the other one.
So we're starting to get on the same page. How do we do on that last call that we had?
Well, the last trade that I was in, I got out of there like 34%. The one before that kicked, I got the boot with everybody else that was sitting in here 2 nights ago.
What about that one that we which episode was that you said we'd have to wait and see?
Oh, that was 3 days or 3 shows. 2 shows ago. That was 2.
You was calling, what was it, up, and I was calling down?
Yeah. I kicked your ass, didn't I?
Oh, man. I tell you, that would have been a big loss to the upside. I'd love to seen it, but man, it's all good. Yeah, we still got that downside.
I think it was about 11 o'clock whenever I kind of felt like that was gonna be a wrap for me.
Oh man, yeah, it's just certain charts will be off a little bit, and I found these to be a little bit more on point with what we're looking at, and finding those perfect little order blocks that we're going to go hit. Now, yes, we still have to, look at that and then look at Bitcoin and try to determine how much of a move on Bitcoin for its order block will determine on which order block we're going to hit on XRP on the momentum. But also not just the order block, but looking at the lines as well to be able to determine exactly what it's, what the chart's saying, what it's wanting to do, and all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah, when I changed to match your charts, I lost my order blocks. Can you share your screen for a minute?
Yeah, I don't think I have these actually marked out with the pricing on them, but
That's okay. I can take care of that.
I don't say I can tell you that the order block that we've actually mitigated that we're inside of, which we really don't need at the moment. I can tell you the one I just marked out as well, the upper order block, which again was that's a 0.11764 up to that 0.12078. And then of course the other one actually was mitigated. It's up above it. So it's no longer valid. Which means all we have is this one little small order block above here, which we could tap that easily, pull back to our trend line, and that would give us a beautiful continuation all the way up to our pink line on the daily at 17 cent, hitting that upper order block up there, 17 cent up to was it 18 and a half cent. Oh,
Where do you have that order block at?
The upper one, which one?
Yeah, the 17 to 19 cent, that one,
So that
or
one,
18 cent. I didn't hear the last few.
all right, so that one is up there above the daily pink line for HBAR, which is
Yep.
the bottom of it is at 0.17267, and then the upper side of it is the 0.18632. And so that would give that one there, because looking at our trend line, if we come back up and we don't have a breakout below the trend line, we actually still close back up above it here. That would give us the ability to push up to this up order block that we created on the daily. The first one, which is a small little push up, clear it, hitting that, and reversing back down and touching our trend line here. And then now, since we've done mitigated that order block, now we can continue without any more interruptions of order blocks all the way up to that pink line for the daily, which, if I'm not mistaken, our pink lines are all to the upside. So that would be, that would be going right along with what we're calling for, like XRP and stuff too. Is just kind of a little sideways for the day, finish up, we start kind of pushing up. Yeah.
That's a nice little trade there. If you're talking about around the 10 cent on HBAR up to the 17.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That OB, those lines are all converging right at that same spot. That looks really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a good one out there if you trade that one. And again, if you notice, we got that double bottom. We wicked all the way down yesterday's candle, giving us that double bottom. So that right there tells me too that, hey, we should be seeing us going back to the upside, unless there's some kind of a market manipulation to try to just drag us down even more. That's just what I'm seeing. How's the order books? They looking pretty good.
Let me get on that. Give me a second.
While we're waiting on that, make sure, guys, if you need any kind of crypto apparel or any kind of Cubs or anything like that, head over to the alphaangle.com. Amazing gear that you can get over here. Some wall art as well. That's actually got some custom stuff there.
Yeah, that was pretty popular. Everything slowed down after Christmas.
Oh, of course. Everybody's having to recuperate their money.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing the trades and, winning to the downside.
Paste this. All right, now she's loading. So HBAR, man, everything's kind of in the balance in the middle. It looks like we've got 53% on the buys, 45 to 48 on the sells. Man, everything, it really looks balanced. The buyers are holding up this current level. Looks like we've got higher lows, momentum curling green, just following Bitcoin's report.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was gonna say it kind of sounds like what we're kind of really got to work on is we got to watch.
It's not
Bitcoin.
bearish though. 60. It's not. I mean, there's healthy liquidity here.
Right.
A lot of room for the upside if it's triggered. So, definitely worth watching the HBAR today. But in the meantime, it's just gonna, bounce back and forth here in the middle.
Yeah, I know the little reports you've been giving out and stuff on, with the order book and stuff in the Discord. People's been enjoying that, and it's been, going right along with kind of what I've been calling stuff. So I mean, it is working together and stuff. So it's showing what my charts are saying there, but that gives you that little bit of extra confirmation and stuff that what I'm seeing and where I'm looking at, hey, we're going to have, some good support right here, and that we're going to be a little bit sideways as we for the daily going to flip. Your order books are saying, hey, we're sideways as well, and we're holding here. So it's what we've got to watch for is Bitcoin. We don't want Bitcoin to break the bottom of our order block. So if it breaks it, that's where you're going to start seeing the sell orders start to pop in. You're going to start seeing more downside, and that's going to pull the rest of the market. So that's where you'll see, XRP, Ethereum, and all these others pull down. And, with that Ethereum one having that pink line down below the order block here for the daily, that one kind of, scares me there. Let me know that, we may actually see, after we do another pull up, we may see a pullback down some more. Especially for Ethereum, which sometimes Ethereum does like to go on its own by itself. And, it may wind up doing it by itself there, but as long as we hold here on Bitcoin, we should be good and back to the upside again for some higher prices. And that, $95,000 order block right there for Bitcoin, that right there, that could be enough that if we pump up and hit that for at least HBAR, we'll tap this order block easily, and that would allow for a little bit of a pullback again for that HBAR trend line to see it go all the way back up. So yeah, that 10 or 11 cent up to that, 17, 18 cent for HBAR, that'll bank out for a pretty good,
I'm
run.
seeing that.
Pretty good run.
Your higher time frame EMAs are lining up really nice in the 205 order block on the 1 hour. I'd like to see that go from 193 to 205.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're like me, I'm in a trade on it right now for the upside. I am looking for those upper order or not just the upper order blocks, but also the lines, which wow, if you actually look at it here on that 1 hour, I mean, where you got all those crossing, if you look, we have an order block that is right before that big drop, and we have not mitigated that yet, which is at that 205.62 up to that 206.48, which would get us just above our hourly pink line. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
mean, on
Yep.
the hourly, it looks like we're already trying to pull back up. So we just got to kind of watch this throughout the day. And what do you think? You think we do another little update tonight?
If we get some bigger news, because it could go either way, it really could. If we get some bigger news, yeah, I think we should.
All right. Well, we'll take and kind of pull it together here for now, and we'll be watching this throughout the day. We'll be doing little updates in the Discord and stuff. But yeah, if we get enough momentum and stuff today, and we see it, starting to play out like we call it here, or the opposite direction, we may do another show today. If not, depending on how it plays out, maybe tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yeah. I'll be here, bud. Yeah, you just let me know. I can be in here this afternoon. I can be in here tomorrow morning. I don't really have much that goes on after the first of the year for at least a month.
That
I
sounds
take it
awesome.
easy.
All right, so that's going to be a wrap on Hello Crypto. Shout out again here to Jay from the Alpha Angle, thealphaangle.com. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check the links in the bio for more. Remember to learn, execute, and profit. And we will see y'all in the next episode.